Alright guys, so we're back at it with another Mustang GT premium review. This one here is an iconic silver and with the showstopper red interior. I think it looks really good. I really like the spec. And without any further ado, let's take a look. Alright, so here is the Mustang GT Premium. This one here is an iconic silver. It does have the showstopper red interior, which we will go over, but I think this looks absolutely awesome, especially with these black rims and some of the contrast of the black coloring around. I think it just stands out and it makes the car pop. So we'll start here with the front end, guys. We have the signature Mustang headlights, your daytime running lamps as well, your fog lamps down below. Coming across the center here, we have the Mustang GT grille with the Mustang logo in the center, and we have the same type of look over on the left side of the passenger side. One thing I do like with the Mustang GTs, well, Mustangs in general, are the two hood vents that kind of come out on the hood as well. I just think it looks really good and really aggressive when you just kind of stare at it down below. But nothing has changed for the 2021 model year. They just kind of did a refresh with the infotainment and added the Mach 1 and got rid of the Performance Pack 2. So that is pretty much it for the front. Let's take a look underneath the motor here of the GT Premium. Alright, so underneath the hood of the GT we have a 5-liter V8 producing 460 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. Now you guys are going to be a little upset here. This is mated to the 10-speed auto. Personally, I think the 6-speed is the way to go, whether you get a Mustang or not. However, the 10-speed is kind of nice when you're cruising a little bit and you don't want to shift gears, but I always would recommend, please get the 6-speed manual with this car. You will not be disappointed. Okay, so looking at the side of the Mustang GT, we have actually a different tire setup in the 2021 model year to previous generations. So instead of the Michelin Pilot Sport Cups, we are sitting on Pirelli P0s. Tire size is 255/40 R19s. You do have Brembo front brakes here as well. It gives you a little bit better stopping power. Now with this being the 5-liter, you do have the 5-liter badge put here on the side. So nothing too crazy, nothing new from the side profile of the Mustang GT for the 2021 model year. One thing to note is it does have keyless entry, so when you have the key in your pocket, you can push this to lock and then grab the handle to unlock it. Just simple as that. Here are the back tires. Now the tires are staggered, so in the back here you have 275/40 R19s, so just a little bit wider in the back here, so they are staggered. You cannot do a tire swap from front to back, unfortunately. Fuel door is on the driver's side, and you do not have to put premium in here, which I always recommend to do, especially with the 5-liter. So that is pretty much it for the side. Let's take a look at the rear end of the Mustang. Alrighty, so in the back here, with it being a GT Performance Pack, you do have quad exhaust on the back end. Your reverse light is down below here, and it does have sequential tail lights as typical for a Mustang. GT logo is right in the back there to notify people in the back that you're messing with a GT, not an EcoBoost. I like the spoiler back here. It just kind of sits really nice on the trunk. Give you a little bit of a side view there. Now the trunk space in here is not too bad. There is a button right underneath. So you push this button right underneath the license plate and trunk opens up just like that. Pretty decent amount of room back here. I would say you'd probably get maybe 2 sets of clubs if you put the seats down. I think that's I'm pretty confident to say you'll be able to do that. But decent amount of trunk space. The entry room is pretty good. Just the curves of the tail lights kind of come in the way, but nonetheless still a lot of room. And then you have your rear view camera right here as well. Now one thing with the GTs is the exhaust. The exhaust always sounds amazing. Let's take a listen. Alright, so since we had a clip of the exhaust, I think we're pretty much done back here. Let's take a look at the interior. Alrighty, so let's take a look inside the interior. Now, like I mentioned before, this is the Showstopper Red interior, and I think it is the best interior you can get on the Mustang. So we'll start here on the door panel, all black. You have some red stitching and red lining right here as well. All soft touch material. You have memory seating, lock and unlock. Window and mirror controls are on the side here. You have the Mustang door sill right down below. Power adjustable seats. Now, these seats aren't the Recaros, and I would recommend going with not the Recaros if you're not going to be tracking it, or if you're not going to be driving it if you're going to be driving it every day. These seats, I think, are absolutely amazing. I think they're very comfortable. They look really good, very plush. And one benefit to them is you actually get heated and cooled seats when you opt for these as opposed to the Recaros. These are just the comfort seats. I'll even show you the back here. So if I push this back, I'll show you the back seats, and they have that Showstopper Red back there, and it looks really, really good. You have this little lever here, and you can push that back to get you the spot that you want. Manual recline, which isn't too bad. You have your lumbar support down there as well. Over on the driver side left, you have your light controls and your fog light controls and your auto dimming, which we'll get into. So that is pretty much it before we hop in, guys. Let's take a look at the interior. Alright guys, so hopping into the Mustang GT Premium here, I do have a different phone. As you can see, I have zoomed out a lot more. I have an iPhone 12 as opposed to the 7, which is a piece of crap. But anyways, I'm moving up here. Anyway, let's start with the steering wheel. We have your controls here to control your infotainment in the center. Pushing this Mustang little button here gives you a little bit more of kind of like your settings for your front digital display. So to get this display, you need the 401A package. So to get this nice, beautiful digital display, 401A package would give you that as opposed to just the analogs, which I think look really, really good. So controlling that screen, you can use these buttons here, and to get to like the menu is pretty much the Mustang button there. If you want to push music, you go to your music, you push this setting button here, goes to your tripometer and that kind of stuff. You can kind of play around with it. The Mustang logo is pretty cool, so what you can do is you can go to My Mode, you can do Add a Mode, and you can basically put on, you know, you want your steering and suspension always on Sport, so pretty much saves that. And that's pretty much it, guys. You can go to your nav, your phone, all that kind of stuff. Pretty simple stuff. I am going to go to gauges here. Just leave it like that. I like just kind of the blank screen there. I think it looks nice and clean. So that's that. Over on the left side here is your adaptive cruise control and your cruise control settings. Your tune knobs here as well. Over on the left side, you have your lane keeping assist and your turn signals, and your window stock for your wipers is on the right. I really like that display. I think it looks really good. Now, changing the display using the toggles down here below, I can go into there and I can change the setting on my drive mode. So if I go to Sport Plus, it will change to a different speedometer. If I go to track and drag are the same thing. It just changes it up a little bit. And I can go to snow and wet, which gives it back to this mode, which I like the most. But that's how you change it, just like that. Now, the interior, like I was mentioning, is the Showstopper Red, so you get some red stitching carried throughout. You have your Bang & Olufsen surround system in here, which sounds awesome. A little bit of red stitching that carries throughout over there. Your Mustang badge over on that side. And your glove box down below, we can push this. Decent size, nothing too crazy. Push that up. We have some gauges up here as well. Pretty standard stuff for the Mustang. And now let's get into the screen. So the screen here is the 8-inch. It is not Sync 4, it's Sync 3.4. Pretty similar to Sync 3, it's just a little bit of an updated version of it. You got different icons, and the house button still stands here. Now, one thing to note, it does have a lot of creature comforts, like I was saying, so heated and cooled seats without the Recaros, heated steering wheel as well, so you can pretty much daily drive this if you put winters on. Same type of deal, you got your phone, your climate controls, you can control it here or down here, whichever you prefer, and your tune knob and your volume knobs over on this side. Pretty much standard stuff, nothing too crazy, nothing's changed. You have some toggle knobs here as well. Down below, like I was mentioning, is your climate control. You have your fan speeds here, your max defrost, all that kind of stuff. You can change it, your temperature gauge, just by pushing this up or down. And engine start button, your hazards are down below, traction control, and your steering feel is on this toggle here. and then your handling mode is here, so you can change it depending on which mode you want to be in. Now, like I said too, unfortunately, this is the 10-speed. I do not prefer the 10-speed. I would prefer the 6-speed manual. Honestly, it's just more fun driving a Mustang when you are driving in a 6-speed as opposed to the 10-speed. You do have a USB plug-in right here, as well as a 12-volt. Some cup holders down below here as well. And if we open this center console here, if I can zoom in, we have some more storage. USB, and then a 12 volts and some other stuff. Nothing too crazy. That is pretty much it, guys, for the interior. We have some buttons up here just to control your interior lights, which are halogens, not LEDs. So that is it, guys, for the interior. I think overall my favorite interior, like I said, is the Showstopper Red. It is absolutely gorgeous. I would not choose anything else other than this color. Obviously, it depends on your exterior color, but I think the Showstopper Red really just kind of, makes the interior, stand out. And especially if you have a convertible, if you have the top down and this is your interior, you're actually not going to get your butt burnt. And yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a head turner. So that is pretty much it for the interior, guys. Let's take a look at the price outside. All right, guys. So the price here is in Canadian dollars. So we're at $61,410 for this, and we'll go over some of the options here with the GT Coupe Premium. Okay, so we have the 401A package, like I was mentioning to you before. You get the digital screen, you get your adaptive cruise, nav, Ford Safe and Smart packs, which is a lot of safety features for the Ford Mustang. The 10-speed adds a $1,750 option. The GT Performance Pack gives you those black ebony 19-inch rims, and it gives you the rear wing and the upgraded tires. You get an engine block heater if you really want it for $150. The enhanced security pack and your AM and FM CD radio right there. So that is the total there for the options that are listed here. And that is it for the price, guys. Let's take you around it one last time and I'll give you my final thoughts. Alright, guys, so that pretty much concludes the Mustang GT Premium review. I personally like this spec a lot more than the other one I did, just all black. I think the Iconic Silver makes it pop a little bit more. I would personally recommend to get the spec because I think it just makes it look really, really good. I would for sure opt to get the GT Performance Package. Gives you a lot of nice add-ons and it makes the car look a lot more sexier. But that is pretty much it, guys. Let me know if you have any more questions. Leave them in the comments down below. Let me know if you have a Mustang GT, what one you would prefer, and whether you would get this or the Mach 1. Haven't seen one Mach 1 yet, but I will hopefully do a review soon when we get one that lands at the dealership. But that is it, guys. We will see you in the next video. Have a good one. See ya.